Right, let's focus on the flooding aftermath in the Eastern Cape. Port St. John's was hit hard and left extensive infrastructure and property damage. We can get a sense of the scope of destruction. We're now joined by the Port St. John's Mayor, Nomvuzo Mlombile, Cingo. Mayor, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. There's been lots of focus on KwaZulu-Natal given the scale of the damage caused by floods there. But paint the picture for us in your town of Port St. John's. What are you experiencing?
Thank you very much, Shan, and thank you very much for this opportunity on behalf of Port St. John's Municipality and the community at large. Yes, of course, we understand that KZN has been hit hard, but we did experience some challenges also as Port St. John's Municipality. We have bridges that have been washed away. We have roads that have been washed away. For example, if I can give just an example, that 12 Department of Transport roads have been damaged. 103 municipal access roads have been damaged. We have those schools that at the moment are inaccessible because of the extent of the damage. We are experiencing also that 420 people who are homeless and 1,100 people who are partially having their households damaged. That means there are a lot of people who have lost their goods, who have lost food, and some roads are really inaccessible.
Can you talk to me about... Can you talk to me about schools in particular, just how many have been affected and whether pupils have been able to return to classes?
Yes, since some of our learners are walking to school, they are trying their level best and the teachers are trying. As you could see that there are some roads that are having some furrows inside them. Schools are not closed yet, but a lot of damage that needs to be attended urgently is something that we need. We are really sad because we lost one of the learners, a 6-year-old who was in grade R in one of the villages at Nomvuzo. We lost him. He will be buried next Monday. So we did have that fatality, and that saddens us.
You say 420 people are homeless. Just in terms of the plan going forward, we know in KwaZulu-Natal around 2 billion rand has been set aside just to deal with the housing issue. Are you getting any assistance from national government in that regard to help those people in Port St. John's who have been left homeless?
Yes, we were glad to even be mentioned by the president when he was giving his speech. Also, Minister Dlamini Zuma mentioned Eastern Cape because there are also other parts of Eastern Cape that are affected. So we feel that being part of that national disaster plan, we will be able to get assistance. We did get a visit from Minister Ndabeni, Deputy Minister Chapa, our Premier, and also some of the officials from the departments. Our Copter MEC was with us when we visited the family. So a lot of government officials from national and the province were here also today and yesterday, some of them taking all the data on how we have been affected. SASA is on the field at the moment. They are doing assessment and social development together with the district municipality. So there's some work that is being done, but we have been assisted by the gift of the givers who came and have been giving food parcels and some blankets. We are also proud to say also MTN has given us 1,800 blankets, 100 food parcels. So there are some things, but as we know that in government, there are some red tapes, so they have to assess and make sure that the numbers tally and those who are affected are assessed and seen. Then we believe, as the national disaster has been declared, we will be taken care of.
Just lastly, in terms of the early warning systems ahead of the flooding, we know that the South African Weather Service obviously issued these warnings, and the cooperative governance MECs generally in provinces have a responsibility to make sure that residents are aware and try to plan for the extreme weather. Was that done in Port St. John's?
We have a group, the OR Tambo District Group, that deals with all types of IGR matters. We have a specialist in weather who always gives those updates. We would say, Shahan, as Port St. John's, we tried our best, because 2 weeks before, we were able to make sure that we clean the drains, we do what limited work we can do. So we did have the notion that we will be facing that. But I can say this rain was higher than the other years. Remember, Port St. John's has been hit in 2019, and we believe that this 2022 one was getting closer to the 1978 one. So we are trying to make sure that we have drains, but being close to the river Nomvuzo and the sea at the same time, when the tide is high, the water is pushed towards the town heavily, and the road is feeling the pinch now, because the one that is the entrance to town is having a lot of landslides, because we have a cliff and a river in one point. So there are things that are damaging us. 3 households were literally swept off, where we found that there was a house on top that came down on the house below it, and both of them went down and took away the third house. So we had that powerful landslide that happened in town, so in the villages that are close to town. So we did experience some hard times, but we are thankful for the assistance we are getting from all walks of life.
And obviously, well done to you and your team for actually cleaning the drains when you got the warning from officials and the weather service. But were you not able to go into the low-lying areas where people are most vulnerable to try to evacuate people?
Yes, fortunately, as I said, in Port St. John's, we had 1 fatality. But the unfortunate part, Shahan, that we need not hide, is that some of the areas where people have built, it's a place that is very dangerous for them to build their houses. It's something that is prone to disaster. But those elements need to be discussed and done and sorted immediately, because even if help comes, you cannot rebuild on where they had built their houses. So those are some of the things that both as the community and the municipality, we need to face on our own and make sure that we take drastic decisions so that we do not continuously face the same thing where people are not supposed to build houses.
Yeah, I respect that admission, Mayor, but the question was whether you were able to actually, with the early warning systems in place, go to communities in low-lying areas and tell them to evacuate because of the heavy rains which were expected.
Yes, we tried through the media, the radio that we have, but I don't think it was massive. But fortunately, no one lost their lives. They were able to go to their neighbors in good time, especially those in Green's Farm. So they were able to go to their neighbors, and some of them, we housed them in the halls that we have, and some were taken to the Dutch Reformed Church. So some of those who were able to get out and take what they had, they were able to be housed in those areas.
Okay, well done to you. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you guys do manage to rebuild quite quickly. Port St. John's Mayor Nomvuzo Mlombile, Cingo.